Hello, my friends. I am Rob, the driver of this bus that is the Lair of OmnusI. Happy to see you all once again. It's been an eventful period of time since the last time I've done one of these. And I kind of apologize for a relative lack of content lately. It's been eventful. But I'm here. I've got some coffee. Let's chat, shall we? First of all, a couple of details. We are now up to 98 subscribers, which is excellent. As I promised, when we get to 100 subscribers, I have a little game in mind, and I'm prepping for it, and I think we'll all have a lot of fun with it. So, tell your friends, tell your gaming group, tell your dog. Dogs love my videos. Sit up, boy. Speak, roll over. There we go. Excellent. The latest subscriber, forgive me if I'm butchering your name, Nagasta Kavakis. You are very welcome here, as are all of my friends and subscribers here to this channel. In case you have missed it, I am Rob. I am the creator of Lair of OmnusI and the person who's behind the camera for all of this fun stuff, from my stretches in dungeon design, game design, role-playing games, offering details on both sides of the screen. This is my brand and my baby. Something I do for fun, but ultimately what I hope to do to entertain you who come to my site, who have subscribed to my channel and check me out. So you are all very welcome here. Now, so yes, we're getting close to that 100 mark. So excellent. Number two, I live in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, the United States of America. If you live in Wisconsin, you know we've had some awful weather. If you live in the United States, you may know that the Midwest, around where Wisconsin is, we've been getting racked with some pretty brutal weather. Heavy rain, and then a lot of melting snow, and has caused a lot of flooding in the area. If you don't live in the United States and don't follow, weather patterns of different countries, we've had a little flooding here. It's nothing compared to what some places have, and I'm very blessed with living in a relatively stable biome that I don't have to worry about tsunamis and earthquakes and lots and lots of tornadoes and other geographical disasters. But it's never fun thinking that a random quirk of the weather can cause you to lose a lot of your precious memories and things that you have. On one side, it's humbling to, think about how unnecessary a lot of these things are that we hold on to. On the other hand, nobody wants to go through with that. Being a role-playing gamer of many years, I've built up a sizable library, and I'd hate to see it destroyed, especially since it's kept down here in my sanctum in my basement. But the water has receded. The dungeon has been cleaned up a bit, which is good. It needed it, and now I feel like I have more room than ever to create and do fun things and entertain all of you. I've got lots of ideas, lots of things I want to do, new spin-offs and series that I'm thinking of, while at the same time providing the same kind of content that I hope you've come here to enjoy. I never forget that I do all of this for you. I don't do this for my own amusement purely, although I am amused by everything I do. I really would be hard to do this if I didn't like it. This is not a career for me. This is just something I do to try to leave a lasting impact on the hobby that I love. And I know so many people go to YouTube for things about role-playing games and the like, and that's one of the things that I come to YouTube for, certainly. And I've met a great number of people through YouTube and Facebook, and as a result, I do these kind of videos. So This is me, and these coffee chat sessions are a chance for me to kind of roll back the characters that I play and just talk to you, me to you. So, cheers. On a personal note right now, Rob's hurting a little bit. I have an infection in my eye, so my vision is somewhat blurry, which is right now stopping me from using my editor program that I use, which, if you're interested in making YouTube videos and you don't, the program that I use is free to use. It's called DaVinci Resolve, and it allows you to make very neatly edited videos, which only get better as you learn more and more about editing and video production and such. I like it a lot, but unfortunately I can't zoom the screen, so it really makes it hard to pick out details and make videos the way I like to. So that's a major part of the reason why the videos haven't been coming, you know, as often as I would like, and it's been actually on hold for a little while. However, I believe my eye is getting better, and it's not nearly as blurry as it used to be. So I look forward to putting videos out for you in the very near future, which should be very exciting. One of the things for all the new members that we've had, I think the last time I did a video we had like 92 members, and now we've picked up some new members, and I'm very grateful for all of you. This channel is something that I want to keep, you know, positive, and I want to keep, you know, doing new things for the people who come here to watch. Honestly, that's always been my stated goal. But one of the things I'd like to impress on especially the new people who are coming here is how much this is a channel for you and what you want to see. If you go through the different playlists that I have and you see something that you like that has been neglected, like say my Omnus Critic videos, and you have something that you would like to see reviewed, or you would like to ask questions that I can answer for my Ask the Wizard series, where I take on the mantle of Lord Cadrian de Flynn and I answer questions as a wizard in a fantasy world. Have a lot of fun with those. I haven't had a lot of questions lately, so I'd love to get back into that. I do have a few that I've been nursing, but we're moving on. I have another series coming up called Surrender the Booty, where I break down different items of adventuring gear and introduce new magical items and things that I've created. It should be rather exciting. I play the role of a pirate free trader. It should be fun, I think. It needs a little work, but we're getting there. My next series that I'm creating and actually have pretty much shot, I'm just waiting for my vision to get back, is called Class Warfare, where for people who are into what it bills itself arrogantly as the world's greatest role-playing game, Dungeons & Dragons, and the King of the Hill, the current edition, 5th edition, which has the lion's share of people playing it right now. I have a series where I basically intend to play the role of a character and outline the benefits, disadvantages, playing styles, and features of the different classes of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. I think it'll be a lot of fun. This is something that only is going to get put out to either my OmnusI Facebook page. So if you only have come here through YouTube, go to Facebook, like my OmnusI account, and you'll also see these videos posted there as well. Also a good place to ask questions and contact me. I do check it quite frequently. Otherwise, comments and always appreciated on these videos. I love every single comment that I've gotten and always work hard to answer and respond in a timely fashion to any comments, whether that's with making a new video for you or just answering, thanking you, and engaging in a bit of conversation. Because I ultimately would love to make this a kind of a room where conversation can flow freely, where I can talk to you, you can feel like you can talk to me. That'd be fantastic. It would make me very, very, very happy. I also like to think that this is kind of a unique channel in that everybody who's ever asked me to do a video, I have responded and made the video for them. There's only one that I'm wanting to do right now. but again, I can't read really well with my eye kind of damaged, so that one's a little bit on the back burner, but it will be made. I do respond and honor the requests of anybody who comes up. Nobody's asked me to do anything impossible yet, so I'm really proud of that, and invite all of you to test me on that, and by all means, talk to me, ask me questions, tell me what you want to see, and I will do my level best to bring that to life on YouTube for you, with getting better with production and all the other kinds of fun little tweaks and things as I'm learning as I'm going along. I've got a cabinet full of costumes, and of course I love my hats, which is another thing that you'll notice of me as you go along, is I do have a fondness for hats. Some would say obsession. That's fair, I guess. But yes, this is the channel of you. So, well, me responding for you. And I'm proud to do it. So, finally, when I do one of these, I generally have a theme, a reason that brings me in front of the camera, or as I like to put it on Facebook, crawling in front of the internet, is every time I do this, I generally have something to talk about. It's a chance for me to connect with you and update you with what's going on in my life, or what's driving my content, what's coming up, previewing things. And the thing that I was looking back through some of my old videos. I belong to a group that concentrates on video responses, setting up conversations and then having everybody just fire off live videos on it. It's actually kind of an engaging form of conversation that it's one-sided. Everybody has to listen to the person, and then you can pick up your own part of the conversation and add to it, which is cool. That's one of the good things on Facebook, is that it has opened up some new mediums for conversation and collaboration. I mean, yeah, it's also the place where you can find out that your relatives are racist and that you know, some horrible things come out, but still, there's some good things. And I was looking back through some of my old video responses. One of the first things on that particular group was talking about why we game master. Game mastering is, in my experience, it's not the same thing as playing. You're not an equal participant in a group if you're the game master for a role-playing game. Again, we're kind of assuming traditional tabletop role-playing game roles, game master and a variety of players. And yeah, the players may have characters that fulfill various roles. For example, classes in Dungeons and Dragons, or auspices in Werewolf, things like that. But more to the point, in almost all of these games, somebody plays the master of the game. The person who's responsible for narrating, who's responsible for running the conflicts and engagements, making rules calls, and telling the players what they need to do for their characters to do what they want to do to affect the story. And oftentimes it also involves creating from whole cloth, what the action is going to be. Designing worlds can certainly be a part of it. Certainly coming up with a campaign storyline where one encounter flows into another. Each group of encounters that's a small chapter in a story that continues on and details the travel and path of this group of characters that everybody is playing. In my mind, that's the most exciting way to run a role-playing game, and one of its purest expressions. I'm not nearly as much of a fan of one-shots that just is a snapshot of a character's life. I'd rather see a lengthy part of the chapter of that character's life, usually involving one large struggle, or a series of struggles that are tied together in a theme. But why? I mean, it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun, but game mastering is oftentimes a lot of work. We do work behind the scenes, designing, developing, note-taking. While we're playing, we're usually dealing with keeping a lot of plates spinning at the same time. Keeping track of the motivations of one character versus another. mentally keeping track of timetables of wandering monster encounters, or how long a particular torch has, or that character just cast a spell, it's got an 8-round duration, mentally ticking that off. Things like that. It can be mentally exhausting, honestly. And oftentimes, there's not a great deal of gratitude. Sometimes your players will come, eat your Cheetos, drink your soda, walk out with nary a thank you. When that comes, though, it feels really good because they're praising you for your hard work, your dedication to your craft, and the fact they had a good time, which is ultimately the end result of a good game, is knowing that your players had a good time, and that when you look back on it, you realize you had a good time too, being all those different characters and laying out a excellent encounter that maybe challenged the group really well, or coming up with that twist that they will remember for years after your game. These are all very good rewards for doing this sort of thing. And in that interaction, in being there with your friends or being there with your peers, sometimes in a group of strangers in a pickup game, just being there and meeting new people, that social itch can oftentimes be scratched in this hobby of ours. Sometimes bring disparate people together who would meet under no other circumstances, but can form lasting bonds and friendships. Many of my best friends that I have now, I met through gaming, either playing alongside of them or running games for them. It's a natural way of opening up some of the doors that we often shut ourselves in with. And I was, for the first part of my life, very introverted. Role-playing games did help me to get out of that, and I'm very grateful to the hobby for that, which is why I put a lot of work into this craft of ours. So, yeah, that's certainly a big part of the reason why I do it, is to keep this whole thing going, and because of the love I have for the hobby, somebody has to run the games. And oftentimes that person is somebody like me, who runs games repeatedly and doesn't ask for a lot of thanks, just, ask for people to belly up, be considerate, and participate in our stories. Ultimately, I also do it because I have these stories. I have more campaigns running through my head than I can ever run. If I had the, vision, but if I had the time, if I could get rid of the 40-hour-a-week job and isolate myself in a little cabin in the woods and bang out fiction, yeah, I could actually put some of these stories to paper. But that's not the path my life has taken, so role-playing games are an outlet for me to tell some of these stories and to, in some cases, run some of these ideas through my head. It's also the reason why I like designing role-playing games. It gives me an opportunity to look at what I've played already and what I've seen and think, how does this work, how doesn't this work, and how can I improve it? Game mastering is a lot like designing a game. It involves careful consideration, crafting, balance, thinking about disparate elements that will work together, won't work together, deciding what to include or what not to include. And game mastering is a lot like that. And when you have a finished product, your campaign or your adventure, your story, whatever level you go at, and you can step back and you can look at it and say, this is good. That's another great reward of role-playing that and especially something that really only game masters feel. Yeah, players can look at an awesome character and go, oh, this character is just awesome. But honestly, a character sheet that with a great build is just a piece of paper. Without the great story behind it and all the experiences, it's just a piece of paper. It's those memories that really give that an extra level of richness. At least people who think along similar lines to me and believe that the role-playing of and the play is the thing that brings the enjoyment. I know there are people who are stats people and who just love coming up with killer builds and such, and that's fine. That's the way one thing they enjoy about the game. But I enjoy the story and laying out the story for my friends and having them participate. So, and I'm gratified that I've had some excellent groups where I've had 5 or 6 people who commit every week a 4-hour or so on block of their time to come to my place. In some cases, traveling a bit of distance and bellying up to my table, which is really cool. I wish everybody who got into the hobby had the luxury of having a solid group. I know it doesn't happen, and I don't take that for granted. Believe me, I don't. But it is a gratifying thing, and yet another thing that spurs me to try to be a better game master, bring new things to my table, and keeping my players interested and engaged. So, I guess the other thing too is, again, if you've seen my videos, I will reference this again and again, but I have a theater background. I was in theater in college, and again, once I flipped that switch from being introverted, I decided to leave stage fright behind. Threw myself into theater and never looked back. I dearly love performing in front of other people in live performances. Unfortunately, because of the 40-hour-a-week uncompromising schedule that I haven't been able to be in an actual theater production in a long time. So instead, I use role-playing as my stagecraft. I use this YouTube channel as my stage, my platform. When I design a character, I think of motivations and actually develop the character the same way I would attack a role in a Shakespearean production or something. And I've been in several of those, and wish I could do all of them, honestly. But that is yet another, and a very strong motivating factor for me. When I'm a DM, I am those characters, and I get to bring those characters to life for a little while. Yes, the players may turn some of them into lasagna in a few combat rounds, and yeah, some of them the players will only dabble with for a little while and then move on. That's the way these games go. The characters are special because they're so ephemeral. They're only there and only exist for a short time in the shared imaginations of a group, and if I'm a good DM, I can bring them to life for a little while, let them have their time on the stage, and then they go back. They are not gone. They're still here and still maybe get a voice, maybe in another game, or maybe later in the game that I'm currently running. I like to think that so many of these characters that I've fallen in love with over the years, be they GM NPCs who go with the party and develop characters alongside of the characters of the players, never stealing the spotlight from them. I'm careful to do that, but offering a little niche that's useful to the party, and every once in a while a little bit of advice when they've gone badly astray and are lost and confused, but rarely that. My players are actually pretty good. These characters live on with me. I've got sheafs of papers full of notes from characters that I've had, and like I said, a good part of the reward is exercising that acting role and letting myself fit into one of these characters for a little while and act for them. The fact that I'm not tied down to one character every time I come to the table. If I feel like I want to play as the king, king is not something normally that a character plays out. Usually you aspire perhaps to be a king, but rarely do you play as one. But as a GM, I can do that whenever I want to. The players encounter a king. The king can be as kingly as I want to make him, or not. I can make him of humble means and treat people as fair, even though he's a king. Maybe he earned it. There's so many things. It's a very rich palette that I enjoy as a game master. So these are the main elements that keep me in it as a game master, and also keep me in it as a YouTube creator. I make these videos because they are mine. They are special. They have a special place for me, and I hope that they have a special place for you as well. To that point, once again, if there's something that you want to see, or maybe some criticism, something I didn't do correctly in a video. My character witnesses, for example. I strive to be as accurate as possible with my character witnesses, but if you see me make a mistake, call me on it, dialogue with me. Don't just, thumbs down me and stomp off. I'll try to be better for you next time. I assure you of that. So, thank you for coming here, listening to me ramble over some coffee. I appreciate it. And I hope to be your favorite game master in the future. Continue to make content and put up videos that should entertain, maybe inspire, or even educate you. If you need to contact me, either comment through the post, OmnusI on Facebook, just capital OMNUS, capital I. I will probably be doing more of these Coffee with Rob videos because they don't require a great deal of editing. It's basically talking what occurs to me and what I have to say. So just trim the beginning, trim the end, put it up to YouTube, and we're good. And then I'll post it again on my YouTube, Facebook post. And we'll see each other again in the near future, I hope. Again, thanks for taking the journey. Remember, only 2 more subscribers and we will get to do this little special game I've cooked up for all of us. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, we'll get there real soon. Thank you again. To your health. And I look forward to seeing all of you the next time I decide to crawl in front of the internet. Farewell.